Hey, this is Trey Gunn, and we're here talking about Gig Performer. Gig Performer is a VST and audio unit plugin host. I run it on the Mac, and it's my live rig and my studio rig. I don't need any analog gear at all except for my instrument. And all you need for to get all the sounds that I use is Gig Performer, a couple of plugins, and an audio interface, and then some kind of MIDI controller. My MIDI controller setup is pretty over the top, but it doesn't. I want to show this one because of something particular. There's a couple of particular things I'm doing here. First of all, there's the bass side, which is a simple bass sound with a phaser on it. The bass comes in here, goes through the Mark Studio bass plugin, gets split, dry signal, and phaser. So in the mixer, I'm mixing together the phaser and the bass. The mixer comes back together through the bass volume pedal, which is controlled by my foot pedal. That's the bass side, expression pedal. So the bass side is clear. The top side gets split into multiple places. The main ones are three main things. It's a little tricky to see all this here, but I can talk you through it. Okay, so I'm using three different distortions, three different kinds of distortions. The clean guitar signal goes into this Dirt Machine plugin, which is a kind of a stomp box pedal, which I really love. They're from Puebla, Mexico. They're great. So I'm using one Dirt Machine. I'm using three Dirt Machines, and they're all coming into the mixer in parallel, and they're panned differently. So the first two Dirt Machines, two different sounds, one on the left, one on the right. The third Dirt Machine is a Texas Pride, of course, Texan Pride, because I'm from Texas. That goes into the S gear, which is the main guitar sound, and that also comes into the mixer board, actually in a couple of ways. This is a complicated patch, I take it back. S gear comes in twice. It comes in on channel 5 and 6, it comes in on channels 7 and 8. The reason being, I'm running some pitch shifting on it, and I'm running the pitch shifter after the mixer board. So if you notice here, these three channels come out outputs 1 and 2. So the two Dirt Machines, hard pan, and the S gear, all 1 and 2. Then I have another version of the S gear, and all you do is just drag these little patch cables in, and then you've got another version. And this S gear goes out output 3 and 4. There's two mixers basically. This is the first mixer, and then the second mixer, you can see that I've mixed the Dirt Machines and the S gear straight to this mixer, and then the S gear only goes to this octave shifter, which I control. Then this comes together in the final mixer, and that mixer does also another set of things. It goes to the volume pedal, and it also goes to a phaser here and comes back, and you don't need a mixer to mix stuff. You can just draw lines, like this line is coming from this mixer and this line is coming from the mixer that goes through the phaser. And then this signal goes out to two different delays. One is the outer space delay and one is the Fab Filter Timeless 2, and all of this stuff comes in here. So aside from all that complexity, let me just show how I'm controlling some of this stuff. The controller page is over here. Here's my bass volume. And here's my top volume, which is just here. Then I have this other pedal here that's controlling the pitch shifter. And let's go to the pitch shifter first, and I'll show you what you see here. The pitch shifter is it's at 0 right now, and when I run it down, it goes up to a tritone. So, and that sounds like this. But I have this same controller pedal doing several things. It's controlling the level back from the pitch shifter. So the pitch shifter is mostly off right now, and when I turn on the pitch shifter, when I swing the pitch up to the tritone, it also brings up the level. And it also sends it to the phaser a little bit. So there's no phaser in this direct sound. When I bring in the pitch shifter, it also fades up the phaser. Okay, so far so good. Now there's two other controls. I have a button on my foot controller that controls a delay signal. So when I hit that button, you can see all these knobs turn, and I'm sending input to the delays. The wet level back from the delays turns up and the feedback turns up, and then I'm also changing the EQ on the delays, and what that lets me do is add a long tail to a solo. So now I let it out. So that's one of the controls, which is fantastic gig performer feature. Then, this is a complicated patch. Then I have another button on my controller that actually sends to an external analog pedal that's on a loop, this pedal. I mean, this can be anything, or it can be a whole chain of pedals, but I'm just using this Digitech Freakout. It's on a loop that comes in and out of my audio interface. So I can feed it out. I can feed from the audio interface to this pedal and bring it back, and I can do that anywhere in the chain here in Gig Performer. And what you see here, this probably doesn't make sense without having gotten into the guts, but basically my guitar signal comes dry and goes to this send volume, which is what I'm controlling with my pedal. So when it's a momentary button I've set up. So whenever I push this down, the signal goes through this volume, which sends out channel 9. Channel 9 is the loop, so it loops out to the pedal, and then the pedal comes back in on channel 9 in the interface, comes back in here. So anytime I push this button here, the signal goes out here and comes back in here. And now I can bring this effect with nothing on it, just the guitar of this effect, and I can bring it in and take it anywhere I want. And you can see that I've taken it to 3 different places. I've taken it over into the S gear, and then I've taken it over to Dirt Machine 1 and Dirt Machine 2. And so what's happening here, this is a feedbacker, kind of like a Fernandez sustainer, and I've got it set to a certain harmonic overtone. So to not keep explaining, here's what it sounds like. So there's the regular guitar. And then now when I kick the button in to go out to the freakout, no freakout. Freakout comes in. And this is all on the this button here, right here. All I'm doing is just raising the level on the on this send with the freak out. So I have the one button that sends to the delay. And another button that sends to the freak out. And if I'm sitting down and using both my feet at the same time, I can do them both.